Let's face it, we've come too far to quit. I'm about to highlight all your problems as well as the solutions. Many of you refrain from taking actions. Many of you refrain from making that major decision. If you understand this video as well as apply it, because understanding the video and applying it are two different things. Many of you have attended seminars, many of you have listened to the podcast, many of you have listened to the teaching, perhaps even mine. Yes, you're not commanding results. The diagnosis is not a lack of information, but a lack of application. If you understand what I'm about to review, you play life like a chess. The first one is overthinking. Many of you refrain from taking action. You're caught in the what if this? What if this happens? What if my friends see me in the course of operating that hot dog stand? What if they laugh at me? What if this fails? What if that happens? The answer is found in the inverse. What if not? What if you could pull it off? What if you could become a success? What if you could become the kind of person who nobody thought you would become? What if it's only you that elevates your family from poverty? What if you could make that business work? What if you get signed into that club of your choice? What if it happens? Have you thought about it that way? Exactly. So change your thinking. Stop trying to conceive every single idea of what might not work, which is one of the first things they teach you as an aspiring CEO. Instead of focusing on the negative things that might happen, focus on things that you can control. Focus on the positives. Focus on the problems you can fix, as opposed to the inverse. Many of you are trying to be overcautious. Many of you overthink. Many of you, in the process of decision making, you are so cautious in your approach that it leads to indecision. So your current status is indecision masquerading as a search for clarity. Many of you have all the information you need to make that decision, yet you refrain from doing it. Not because you can't take action, not because you're scared of taking action, but you're looking for guarantee. I want to be certain that if I move to XYZ, it will produce XYZ results. In life, there are no guarantees. Nothing happens with a guarantee. You who's a restaurant owner, when was the last time an individual sent you a message by text, I will eat at your restaurant? You wake up in the morning, prepare sumptuous meal in large quantities without the guarantee that someone would eat at your space. You understand this at a micro level, juxtaposing the example I just gave about the restaurant owner. Some of you are traders, some of you are small scale business owners. When you open that fruit stand or your tiny shop or your wholesale chain store, what is the guarantee that you're going to make sales that day? Exactly. So stop waiting for guarantee. It's my life philosophy that anything that does not require faith is not God's direction for you. So anything that doesn't require some level of faith, some level of let's see what happens, it's not God's direction for you. Most of you are very logical. I want to buy a house. How much does it cost? 100 million. So if I put money from that account and this account and this account, I'll be able to make that purchase. Sometimes you have to apply the law of manifestation. Sometimes you have to take risks. Sometimes you have to believe that business can yield such produce. We know the story, or you trying to seek clarity, you trying to be overcautious with your approach. It's like the woman who was weeping profusely at the corner of the street. The man came along and said, "Why are you crying?" And I was just imagining one day when I get married and after 12 months I have a baby. Once I conceive, I and the baby girl are crossing the road a few years later and she gets hit by a bus. So I'm weeping in advance for that scenario. As ridiculous as that sounds, it's the same way you appear when you overthink things. Take action now. Stop masquerading indecision with a search for clarity. You know exactly what to do, but you're straddling the fence. You are being equivocal about it. Take action. Another thought process I would love us to explore is doubt. Many of you doubt yourself. Many of you worry. Many of you doubt. Many of you ask that same question. What if this doesn't happen? But doubt stems from failure. If you fail on a long enough time frame, if your failure rate becomes consistent, something happens. You begin to lose confidence in yourself. You begin to distrust your own words. This point I won't elaborate on because it's self-explanatory. And every single person who has done something worthy of admiration has failed. Elon, who's the richest man in the world, his life is adorned and marked with all kinds of failures at every level. And many people fear failure, not necessarily because of the event, but the perception of it. If you are playing a video game and you fail a level, and it becomes consistent, alright, I failed, I'll try again tomorrow. Because there is no one to condemn you, as opposed to when you fail in business and your parents and every single person who believes in you is trusting and you fail. So there is more stigma associated with a public failure than a private one. If I sent you up to a distant land with the requisite capital to venture into any business of your choice, would you think, what if I fail? Or would you go, how can I actually make this work? You now see how the dynamic shifts from what if I fail to how can I make this work? So you're so focused on trying not to fail because there are people watching you, as opposed to how can I succeed? The mental frame you have to adopt is to not give a shit about what anybody cares about. Let me tell you something that I know for a fact. Onlookers are the people on the sideline judging you whether you miss the goal or you score. They're the one who cheered. Anybody who is not actively trying to improve the quality of his life or in the same field as you, disregard his critics, disregard his appreciation, disregard his opinion about you entirely. So doubt is a normal phenomenon, but you do not dwell in those situations. Do not dwell in doubt. And as always, my friend, pleasure speaking to you. See you.